Aw.
Grab a drink and join the chat. Grab a drink, join the chat. Let's start the show.
Hello. I know you are sitting here thinking like, is my mind playing tricks on me? But honey, let me tell you that it is not. Yes, you are seeing me 2 times today for a second dose of the Happy Hour show with Lindsey Vertner. And I am going to introduce my beautiful guest, Miss Chantel Soumis, in just one moment. But first, if you are new to me and have no clue who I am a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I teach female entrepreneurs and ambitious leaders how to master their mindset and increase their self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline. So that is what I do. And I'm super, super excited about my guest on tonight. I know that her energy is amazing and it's going to be great. Her name is Chantel Soumis, and she is the founder and creative director of Stardust Creative. She's on a mission to help organizations smash through sales and marketing, even if they don't got a lot of money, okay? And in launching her business in just 3 months, she was able to create over 1 million in revenue generating opportunities. And can we say ching, 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 right? She is an advocate for differently abled community, and she's received honors such as the Universal Women's Network Woman of Inspiration for Diversity and Inclusion, okay, in 2019, and Brava Magazine's Woman to Watch in 2020. And you'll definitely want to watch her because despite all of these amazing things, she has been able to achieve these things through her personal health struggles with 12 autoimmune diseases, including multiple sclerosis. And so you'll be inspired by her story and enchanted by her enthusiasm. Welcome, Miss Chantel. How are you?
Yes, fabulous. Thank you. I feel like I need to throw confetti or something and blow a horn.
We will imagine the confetti.
All right.
Yes. If you are tuning in, make sure you comment down below, post your questions for Chantel down below, and definitely share this video out with the world because it's going to be good, okay? So, are you ready?
So ready. I'm so ready.
I know that I just went through your resume, but please tell the people, who are you really? Who are you behind the scenes?
Ooh, deep questions. I could start wherever, like first and foremost, I believe the biggest and best and most rewarding job that I have is being a mother, and being able to balance being a entrepreneur with being a mother is like the best gift of all, because there's so much magic there. Making sure that you are able to have that sizzle and spice wherever you go. And so what is that profession, right? Personal branding. By the way, amazing intro. Love your personal brand. That's so
Thank
much
you.
sunshine, so much personality. That's what I love. So basically, people ask me, what is personal branding? I like to explain insurance. What is the insurance industry? They nailed it when they created two awesome personas. Flo from Progressive. She's an amazing,
I love Flo.
unicorns and glitter. She's great. And also Jake from State Farm is a whole nother personal brand. And that's exactly what I do, is I help build a face for a company that people might not be able to connect with regularly. So that is the sweet spot, as well as speaking. So again, kind of highlighting that inclusiveness. A lot of people avoid the conversation about working with people with disabilities because you think disability, you think you're on Social Security or some form of disability. But a lot of people crave that fulfillment, and that encourages knocking out unconscious biases with personal branding, of course, and creating safe spaces so that everybody can feel like, even if they need a reasonable accommodation, they're just as awesome as an asset.
Nice. I love it. And I already see the comments rolling in. Let's go check them out. Tanya says, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, oh my gosh, yes. And Jake, and he is cute, she said.
Him and his khakis, yes.
Right. If that's your type, girl, tap in. Awesome. So you are all about personal brand and helping that to be developed. And so I know that you have had your own struggles as far as going on with your health. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So right after I had my beautiful baby boy, your body goes through some crazy things in pregnancy, and my hormones were just bananas, and it knocked my immune system for a loop. And I was also unemployed. I was out of a job very suddenly, and my body just shut down. And what the story kind of started with my vision getting really foggy. It was almost like you're just looking through a really foggy lens. But then it got worse and worse and worse, so that you couldn't even really see different tones of color. Like that scroll bar on the side of your browser, I could not find that thing for the life.
Wow.
It was crazy. And then it ended up actually getting to the point where I couldn't even see faces, and I got lost a few times. Shouldn't have been out in public, probably, without some support, but hindsight's 2020. Whatever, just living my best life. And it actually started progressing into like the inability to walk and things like that. That I didn't, unemployed, right? No health insurance. We got a lot of changes to make, but that's a whole nother conversation. And it really got to this point where I had to force myself in, because I couldn't even like really live a normal life taking care of a baby. And of course, you're 20 something and you still need your parents to basically shove you into the doctor or still be parented. That's what came down to that diagnosis. And then having to check that disability box when applying for jobs. Nobody wanted me. I mean, I applied for over 200 different roles, and I needed vision support, also mobility support. So making sure that if I had an access to a job, there was a elevator accessible, handicap parking accessible, and other things that people don't normally think about. So getting through that, I had this like contest to make. I mean, when you go through a diagnosis and your life flips on its head,
definitely,
especially as like a new mom, hormones are real. Hormones are real, and you have to really navigate what is going to happen next. Like your mindset's just bananas, right?
Mhm.
And the grieving process was really, really, really hard. But I found hope. I found faith, and I held on strong. And I turned this challenge, which seemed almost impossible. Even my MS community said, girl, just apply for disability right now. No one's ever going to want you if you require reasonable accommodation. And I'm thinking, how is it that kids like people in their 20s are told to just give up and sit at home for the rest of their lives? That doesn't make any sense. So I created this like challenge where I was like, you know what, I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to bypass the application. And I used LinkedIn. I revamped my profile there, and I started getting really active. And I reached out to 2 local recruiters, and I started having these conversations with them like they were my best friend or like a long lost sister. And the next thing I know, they say, I got a great opportunity on the table for you here in marketing. Are you interested? Yes, I'm interested. Great idea. And within 2 weeks, I had a job offer from 2 separate recruiters at 2 different companies, and my life has never been the same. So, right, the power of personal branding and connection is real. So real.
And I think it's key to recognize for those that maybe weren't paying attention that you took action. You didn't put up with what everybody was saying. And I think that holds a lot of people back because we take on those energies of the people around us. We take on their doubt and we take on their fear on top of our own fear of whatever reason that is. Maybe it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. So we have our own, we take on theirs, and then we don't do anything. And so I think it's very, very key to notice that you took action. You didn't just sit there and say, oh, woe is me. Like you were like, no, I'm going to do some shit. Let me get on this. Let me talk to some people.
Yep. I'm a mom. I got a lot to show for, right? This kid, he has a lot of looking up to do, and he's got a lot to do too. So gotta set that example, right?
Yes.
Be a role model.
Because kids are always watching. And even if you don't have kids, someone is always watching.
Always.
Whether you recognize it or not, people are always watching. Either watching you for what not to do or watching you and admiring. And even your haters are watching you. Okay? Everybody's watching.
I love it.
I know that was such a tough time for you. Like, what was your process as far as figuring out, like, essentially this new you that you had to become?
Oh, that grieving process was brutal. I mean, brutal. And it wasn't easy. The first thing that happens when you go through something like that, like if you're a new parent or you go through a diagnosis or you have a cancer diagnosis and treatment, everybody starts throwing information at you like, oh, my best friend's sister's dog has cancer. Here's an article, or my brother's girlfriend has MS and this diet worked or essential oils work, like all of these things. But really, I mean, you take it gets overwhelming at first because everybody feels like they're you feel like everybody's an expert and you're just here, an object to, I don't know, be taught, which is good. Absorb it, right? Lean in, but don't absorb everything. And what I had was that community that wanted to support. Of course, they weren't really doing the best job at it, or they were doing their own kind of way with helping or finding out and trying how to help. But for me, it was really feeling like I'm not alone. That was the first thing, because you can feel so alone and you can be so down on yourself. And the mental warfare of going through any kind of change or transformation is brutal. So you got to see the positive in things. And then I started obsessing over neuroscience and how the brain can literally rewire itself. It's magic. Brains are pure magic.
Yes.
And by being happy but not happy, I should say, but joyful and having gratitude in every single thing that you do, that is real. That's where the real magic happens. That's remarkable, because any bad day can switch like that with an attitude of gratitude.
Yes. And sometimes it sounds so cliche when we're like, attitude of gratitude, be
Yeah.
thankful, be thankful. But it's so true. Like our minds are so, so powerful. And the things that we focus on, we attract more of that into our lives. So when we're thankful for what we do have, we attract more things to be thankful for.
Oof.
When we're complaining and negative, we attract more lack into our lives and more negativity into our lives. And it's counterintuitive for a lot of people.
Right. Setting that intention is everything. And I think that is one of the biggest weaknesses in our society and the whole world is that people are walking around like zombies lacking intention. And can you imagine what we could do if we were more intentional with every decision that we made, every conversation that we had? It's beautiful, right? You could accomplish anything. World peace is around the corner, right? If we could all just be more intentional about it.
Right. We are like ebony and ivory over here. I am all about intentions. That is a big, big thing because, as I keep saying, our thoughts are so powerful. And so when we intentionally create the things that we're thinking about, intentionally focus on the things that we desire for our lives, things change.
They do. They do. You think about that manifesting. I was never into that, like the manifest or yoga, any of that. I didn't want to be a granola mom or like the cliche, you know. But then you start doing it and you realize, wow, this is what it's about. This is why people are having this mindset. This is why people are staying in these communities of really awesome, ambitious people because it fires them back up. It's like a hype cycle that keeps giving and giving and giving.
Yes. Over here in the comments, Tandra says, awesome. And Karen says, hello.
Hi, Karen.
And Cher says, 100% live life on purpose every day. Yes. It is so true. If you are just tuning in, make sure you comment down below. Make sure you post your questions for Chantel. She'll have an opportunity to answer those later on in the show. And share this video out to all the people you're connected to, because if it's helpful for you, it's helpful for someone else. And even if it's not helpful for you, which I'm sure it is, it's still going to be helpful for someone else in your life, but you don't know who that is until you share it. So comment below, love it, like it, and share this video out. And thank you for tuning in.
Your energy is just the best. Who wouldn't want to soak that up and absorb it?
Thank you. I try because energy is infectious, whether it's negative energy or positive energy. I mean, think about those Debbie Downers whenever they're in the room and it's like you are draining everybody's energy.
Just leave.
Don't leave. Do that one, right? So I know, like, with everything that you were dealing with throughout that process, did you ever have those like woe is me moments? And so, how did you get through them?
Oh, I mean, I feel like you have to have that, like, you have to lean into that. When you don't feel right, it's okay to not be okay. I mean, I have like a long history of battling depression and anxiety and even obsessive compulsive disorders. Like my mind always thought clean. If you have a clean life, you know, like around you, you have a clear brain. So I was always so picky about keeping everything so tidy and symmetrical, and it was crazy. But being okay with that and able to just breathe through it and be, you know, love the flaws, love the mess. The mess is what makes you unique. The mess is actually all the beauty in your life. So that's how I learned to just kind of be okay with it. And I mean, again, like, back to being a mom, it is not pretty. There's a lot of struggle that happens in the struggle bus, but those are the beautiful moments, right? The absolute circus. Yes. So that's what I do. What do you do? How do you lean in or stay positive?
So it's all for me about being authentic, flaws and all, because whenever we can embrace every single part of us, the negative and the positive, then
Yes.
nobody can tear you down. And whenever you do embrace it, then you realize that, hey, that piece is unique for a reason. And it's part of my overall bigger purpose. So just reminding yourself that, you know, everything that I am, everything that I've been through is for a reason and makes me who I am today. So love it.
Yes, love all of yourself, every little bit.
Yes, over here in the comments, Karen says you both do great. Thank
Aw,
you. Thank you.
thanks, Karen.
I mean, you got to share it out because you're going to be influential. Are you influential negatively or positively? Like, that is your choice. I mean, I'm sure everybody that's watching this right now can think of one person that you just hate being around because they're always complaining, always negative. Like, even just thinking about them right now is getting your pants in a twist a little bit. Like, let's change the subject.
No, I mean, it really is about being intentional about the community that you have around you, right? Even the people who the other day I got onto a sales call with somebody. I was looking to have somebody help me with SEO, search engine optimization. And they started talking bad about a competitor of mine. And I was thinking, sure, I get that, you're trying to like show that you know the industry, but at the same time, that negative talk was still toxic. So it was something that I was like, well, this isn't feeling too good. Maybe I'm going to go with somebody else. But it does make a difference.
And I think that the fact that you pointed that out, like, this is a note for everybody. Whenever you speak negatively on somebody else, it actually doesn't hurt that person. It makes you look bad.
It does. Yeah. There's no. And I don't know if people think that they're raising themselves up when they throw shade or what it is. I could never really wrap my mind around that, but just keep throwing sunshine out there, right? Combat the shade.
It comes back to you.
It does. It does.
I am a firm believer that, like, what's for me is for me. What's for you is for you. Like, I don't have to downplay anybody else. I don't have to talk negatively about anybody else to collect everything that I deserve, that I know is meant for me, because it's going to come regardless.
Yes.
So keep that energy high.
Collaboration over competition all day, every day.
Yes, especially as women, because they make us feel like, oh, women are always catty and they fight and they can't get along. But I love my sisters, right?
Right. There's a lot of good people like us, okay? We're not all catty. This isn't Mean Girls High School, okay? We're adults.
Get rid of any mean girls that are still in your life. So if you are just tuning in, you are watching the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner and my beautiful guest, Miss Chantel Soumis. And make sure you comment down below, post your questions for her. She'll be able to answer those later on, and share this video out. But right now, I want to know what y'all are drinking on at home, okay? So post in the comments what you're drinking. And if you don't have a drink right now, then post what you're about to go fix yourself to drink. Because this is a great time to find out.
What's in your cup?
I love it.
This is the part of the show where we find out what our special guest is sipping on over there in her area of the world. So, Miss Chantel, tell us what you're drinking, and then after that, give your cup some lovely cup cam. Hold it up to the camera. Show us what you got.
I am drinking the world's finest tap water from Wisconsin. Gotta hydrate, right? And I am using my favorite London cup. Can you see it?
There we go.
I am obsessed with England. Love that place. Want to buy a home there. Can I move there? been chasing citizenship for ages. They won't let me in. I'm not a doctor. I'm trying manifest.
Yes. Yes, speak it into existence. It is yours.
I know. My parents would kill me before I would be able to have a chance because they got to have family close, you know?
Right, right.
That's okay. I feel loved.
You just have to move them with you.
Exactly. I'll make $1 billion and afford that. That's fine.
Right,
Big
right.
goals. Big goals. What's in your cup?
So at first, I was going to also have some organic water. Yeah, great value. But I changed my mind and I went with a little bit of strawberry kiwi juice. And I put it in my new mug, Compliments of the Mother. That says, be happy.
I love it. Oh,
yeah.
how can you not be happy with those polka dots?
Right? Right? She just gave it to me over the weekend while she was visiting. Tanya says that she is drinking Minute Maid Berry with an entree of smothered chicken and dirty rice. Okay, then, Tanya.
Oh, that's so good.
She threw in her dinner, and now my stomach is growling like, Lindsey, you don't eat some food. Like my mouth was watering.
I know. Time to take a drink.
Cher says she is drinking. So is that cozy or is it actually chozy? Chamomile tea with lemon. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, do you do the phonic pronunciation or do you do?
I'm going to say chamomile has a CH, right? So I would say cozy chamomile, right?
Yes,
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Chosie's cute.
Down below and let us know what is in your cup. Meanwhile, we are going to get back into the discussion. So, Cher said, Tanya, save me a plate, right?
Smothered chicken. Please.
So, excuse me. You have how many children? Just the one, or you have
just the one? Yep.
Mm-hmm. And what was that like, just being a new mom? And then you started your business and you're going back to work. You have these health issues. Just how did you find just the harmony, the balance? Because I know as moms, that's something that we often struggle with, like the balance. How do I do it all? Ooh. How did you practice self-care with all of that going on?
Do you know what a spoonie is?
A spoonie?
Yes.
When I think of spooning, I think I'm in the bed. Like,
okay, we're thinking of
tell me about
a
spoonie.
Okay. So in the chronic illness community, we consider ourselves spoonies. So what a spoonie is it's somebody with an autoimmune disease that has to measure their energy usage in the terms of spoons. So see, I have 10 spoons at the beginning of the day when I wake up. Taking a hot shower is actually really debilitating. You wouldn't think it would be, but it really is exhausting, and it can take 2 spoons out. So then I got 8 spoons. What am I going to do? You know, you get ready, you do your hair, your makeup, you get into the car, you drive to work. That's another spoon right there. Before you know it, by the end of your workday, you're out of spoons. So what are you going to do when you get home? You go to daycare, pick up the kiddo, go home, you got to make dinner, right? You got to get the kid in the bathtub. You got to put them down for a bed, read a bedtime story. I don't have any spoons for that. So what am I going to do? Well, in the spoonie community, what we do is, people with chronic illness is they're very ultra aware of how they spend that energy because they know how delicate their bodies can be. So having that understanding, at first it was a nightmare. I mean, I was passed out by like noon every day after lunch, bye, I'll see you in a few hours. But naps definitely do help. So I'm a pro napper. But really having an idea and a hold on exactly which elements exhaust you the most, even in the career, right? Like I realized traveling for speaking engagements took so much more out of me than doing a project that could have made me probably 2 or 3 times as much income in a quarter of the time. You know what I mean? So having those energy facets or being able to do that, I think everybody should do that. because it is amazing how much you can see and optimize in your career and in your life to do that. So, I mean, do I have it all together? No, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And thankfully, I have an amazing community. And I'm pretty sure that we connected through one of our communities online. It's just supportive and encouraging. And it really does help lift you up when you're feeling down and you're feeling like that hot mess that is crazy and has a circus in her brain and in her life. But really, it's that's the beauty of it, right? We got to just keep rolling with the punches and pushing forward.
Yes, that is so true. And I've actually heard that analogy before, but I think it was like with quarters or straws or something.
Oh, okay.
Something different than spoons. But I think it's very important for everyone to recognize that. And that's part of being self-aware, recognizing how not only your environment and not only the activities that you're doing or not doing, but also the people that you are around. How is your energy being used? Is it boosting your energy up or draining your energy out? And it's very important that we are self-aware and mindful of that with whatever we do or whomever we're around.
Right. Hiring somebody used to be the most challenging thing for me because talking about money freaked me out, especially coming from unemployed and starving, like barely able to keep the lights on, to paying somebody to help me. I had a hard time realizing that it was an investment, and that was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. So if you're feeling in a jam and you need that direction, definitely invest in yourself. Hire an expert that can lead you forward. That's been the biggest saving grace for me.
Yes. And listen, don't be ashamed about anything that you source out, whether that's cooking, cleaning, childcare, or anything. Like, as long as you are there for your child, then when you need help, don't be guilty about hiring that help when you need it, because it is a form of self-care. And if you are operating at a level down here, then you're not giving your child the best of you anyway. You're not giving your significant other or your friends or your family or your coworkers or clients or whomever you have relationships with the best of you, because you're operating on level 2 instead of level 100.
Exactly. I know. And it's okay to operate on level 2 every once in a while when you need to have that rest and kind of lean into that. We can't always be at 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody is, please let me know what's working for them, because I'm happy to buy it. I could use a little support there. But yeah, nobody's perfect, right? Let's be honest. There's just no such thing as a perfect boss or a perfect business owner or a perfect mom or a perfect daughter, perfect sister, anything like that. So yeah, pushing forward and having that community really is everything.
Yes. Whenever you need those lower moments, take them and then bring yourself back up and work out whenever you need to. And don't feel guilty about that. I think that's a big thing for women, especially since society makes us feel selfish whenever we do take time for ourselves, or if we're not cooking and cleaning and minding children and all of that other stuff, right?
So true. So my question for you then is, how do you, like you said, you can feel that low as long as you get yourself out of it. So how do you suggest people get themselves out of that funk when they feel that jam and they just feel stuck and they need to get out of it?
Self-care. Self-care is not selfish. And I'm actually doing a 3-part series on the ugly truth about self-care just this week. I did one yesterday. I have another one tomorrow, and then one Friday afternoon. But it's so important. And like, self-care seems to be kind of like the buzzword these days, which is great and all. But I think so many people still don't understand everything that self-care entails and how to begin implementing it into their lives. So one, self-care can be spa days, shopping sprees, all the typical materialistic things, but that is not all that self-care is. Self-care is 5 minutes by yourself when you need it. Self-care is a walk around the block when you need it. Self-care is a nap when you need it. Self-care is hiring someone to come do all your laundry so that you can take a nap that you need, or so that you can work on business or finish a project or work on your passion or spend quality time with your children instead of hours doing the laundry. Self-care is saying no.
Yes.
Self-care is setting
Yes to no.
boundaries.
Yes.
Every relationship in your life needs boundaries. That's a form of self-care, because when we don't practice self-care, like you mentioned, you start to feel it in your body, but it also takes a toll on our emotional health and our mental health. And when those things are messed up, that actually overflows into our physical health.
Ooh, yeah. Felt it hard. It definitely hit me. I love the examples that you made too, because those were all examples that I feel the need to do. You know, walk around the block, get some fresh air, breathe that fresh oxygen, and take a little rest. I love that.
Yes. Post how you practice self-care down in the comments. Let us know. How do you self-care? And if you struggle with self-care, let us know that as well. We are here engaging together. Diana says, you both look amazing. Love seeing this video. Thank you for tuning in, Diana. Thank you. She says, yes, letting go of that guilt is important. Teresa said, oh, nope. Tanya says, okay, LOL. And Teresa says, you are gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. So let us know how you practice self-care. If you're just tuning in, you are watching the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner and my beautiful guest, Chantel Soumis. And she is the creative director and founder of Stardust Creative. So I know some people are listening and they're like, Stardust Creative, what is that? Please enlighten us.
Ooh, okay, you open this can of worms. So I am obsessed with the universe, with understanding energy and how it works, but also the fact that we're all here for a reason. No matter what you believe in, no matter what your faith is, you are the only you in the entire universe. And you have an entire universe inside of you, trillions of cells that are colonies. They make up these little colonies that become your skin and your hair and your eyes. That makes you pretty magnificent. And having this uniqueness, your own ecosystem inside of you that you control, is magnificent. So that's why I came up with Stardust Creative and understanding the personal branding side of things. Like we talked about the Flows and the Jake from State Farm. There's a lot of really profound personal brands out there that are obsessive. I mean, you could really just get into it and binge it all day and all night. That's what makes people relatable. I mean, having a social media content, right? You share a couple videos here and there, and the next thing you know, people are binging your content like they would a Hulu series or something along those lines, where after the third or fourth video, they feel like they know you. They feel like your family. So that's what I love, and bringing the holistic view to your personal brand using social media, especially LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. It's like, when you think of social media platforms, LinkedIn is like the nerdy dad, you know, with the high pants and the suspenders. That's LinkedIn in a nutshell. But that dad is successful, you know?
Yeah.
That's what your brand strategy on LinkedIn is, extremely successful. And I've experienced ridiculously awesome results, and I wanted to share it with the world. So that's what I drove into with Stardust Creative. Now, we also do marketing strategy for small business and SaaS companies. So software as a service is the sweet spot there. But yeah, my addiction for marketing and thinking creatively is profound. I mean, there's never a time when I'm not analytically, you know, dissecting advertisements that come on TV, or you know, all of the things that you see it and you're like, ooh,
yes,
they did that wrong. Sorry, my connection just kind of better. We're getting there.
Yes, I was with you. And I love that. So, whether you are an entrepreneur or you are a professional, LinkedIn is great for everyone because that is the place to be professional. And so, everybody has a professional brand to them, even when you don't own a business. And I think sometimes people forget that, but is your professional brand for yourself, i.e., you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, or is your professional brand for somebody else, i.e., you are the employee, you work for someone else, but everybody has that professional brand. So, what would you say are your top tips to really boom your LinkedIn?
Yes. So authenticity. I know you mentioned that before, and that word again has become a buzzword and it's losing its beautiful, beautiful sparkle. However, you really do need to lean into your perceived weaknesses. You know, you go into an interview and the interviewer asks you, "What's your biggest weakness?" And you never know how to delicately talk about your vulnerabilities and how you're improving on them, you know, like it's a work in progress. I'm taking a course right now. Well, that's exactly what your personal brand is we want to put those weaknesses or perceived parameters right there on the table, you know, just lay out all those cards right there so that everybody can read them and be related to them, feel like they're connected to you, because that's relatable. When somebody sees a weakness or a perceived, you know, struggle, it makes you more human and it makes you easier to connect with. So that's number one, I would say. Number two is just showing up, being active in a conversation. The platform is booming right now. I mean, so many people are using their profiles, and unfortunately, you know, we're having a surge in unemployment. So there's a lot of people out there looking for jobs. And if you don't have a full profile, a very professional, you know, pulled together profile, you could easily be overlooked as a candidate, which would be super unfortunate. So making sure that your profile is public and complete is another hack. And the last but not least would be to have a profile picture. People want to see your beautiful smile. Smile, eye contact. It makes you approachable. It makes people feel connected with the eyes. They are the windows to the soul after all. So don't wear sunglasses. I see a lot of people making that mistake. Also, making sure that it's in full color, because when you scroll through the feed, if you have a black and white version of your headshot, it's going to sink into the background. But if you're wearing a bright red shirt in your headshot, that's perfect. You're going to pop. So those are some tips that I have.
And those were awesome tips. And I love that you said, like, you know, just putting your weaknesses out there, because then somebody connects with that. They see themselves in you, essentially. Because that reminds me, back whenever I was in direct sales, you know, I'm a go big or go home kind of person. So like my setup would be all beautiful and everything would be just right. And I remember when I first wanted to build a team, my team leader was like, well, here's the thing. This looks very beautiful, but the person sitting and watching you is feeling like, oh, I can never duplicate that. So you got to keep it simple. And, you know, if you mess up, that's okay, which I was fine if I messed up or anything. But it was just like my display originally, like the person watching would be thinking like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I could never do all of that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't see themselves doing that. And I had to kind of still be great, still make it look amazing, but simplify the whole thing. And that's whenever people really start to connect with you, like, oh, I can do that too.
Yes, perfectionism breathes discomfort in people or viewers, right? But as soon as they see that there's some wiggle room for human error, it makes you feel connected and it drops those boundaries down. So letting people in and opening those doors. I love it. It's good to have a mess. People that are messy are hilarious either way, especially if they have humor in the mix. We need more humor. We need more positivity and laughter.
Yes. My guest from earlier today, Nicole Walters, was just talking about she is a whole hot mess, and people love her for it because she puts everything out there.
I love that.
She knows that despite being a multi-seven-figure earner, she is just like us.
Yes. Yes. I mean, y'all start somewhere, right?
Right? Renette says, great info. And Tanya says, okay, I need to let people see me. I actually submitted to it recently since I'm getting ready to be on another platform. But authenticity is really a deep, painful side to who I am, but how I've healed. It's easier for me to speak about when I'm a motivational speaking, but behind the camera. You got this, girl. You got this, girl. Would you have any advice?
Oh, yes. Start sharing your message on LinkedIn. I mean, that as a motivational speaker, for sure, you have so many lessons to share, so many stories to tell. And having those stories that connects, I think, is great. People embrace that pain because they're feeling that pain too, and they need that hope and that anchor. And you just might be that anchor and that hope. So building here's the reason why I love LinkedIn. When you share a post on LinkedIn, it goes to your first degree connection. So everybody that you're connected to. But then anytime somebody that's connected to you that likes it or comments on it, it goes to their connections too. So it keeps spreading and spreading and spreading to your third, fourth, fifth degree connections. And you're getting found by people who really need to hear your message that day. And you never know who is until they actually receive it. And social media is weird, right? When you're sharing these messages and you're not getting anything back, you might not get comments because people are afraid, especially on LinkedIn, of engaging with content because their employers are going to see their activity. So being cautious about it, but being consistent and not letting that hold you back, knowing that your views, your likes, your comments, or anything are down. Because when your message is meaningful, it will be received by the people who need it the most, and they will reach out to you when they feel comfortable.
Yes, that is so true. And be okay with knowing that my message is out there, someone is receiving it, even if you never find out. Because I think that, like you said, with society today and social media, like it's all about the likes and the loves and, oh, who commented, who saw it today and all of that stuff. And whenever it's just crickets, then we feel a little bit less than, like, oh no, nobody liked what I had to say, or we start to feel like we're not good enough. Like, oh, maybe I didn't word this right, or maybe I didn't look right in this picture. And I think that shows in the increase of depression and anxiety, especially in young adults with social media these days. But it's important that think about in the day how many times you scrolled your feed and maybe liked it in your head or commented in your head, but never typed it out on the screen. And it wasn't intentional. You were just scrolling. Every now and then you might stop and hit the like button. But like, oh, that was funny. Oh, that was cute. And you're just scrolling. Like, people are also doing that. And the people that need to see it might not ever like, might not ever comment, might not ever email you and let you know how you impacted them, but you made an impact. So I think that that is a big thing to just recognize as you put your story out there.
Absolutely. The ripple effect is real. You drop a pebble and you can see it flutter for quite some time. You may not know it's there, but it's there.
Yes. And we are so happy that you're on the show. I see the questions start coming in. Tanya says, no one has ever delivered the LinkedIn tea like this.
Oh,
we are phenomenal. Chantel. Yes. We are so happy that she is here sharing it with us. She says, so true. If you are just tuning in, make sure you post your questions right now, because we are getting to that part of the show where Miss Chantel is going to answer your questions. Because right now we're going to play a little game called
30-second hot shot. Answer the question in 30 seconds or less, or take your shot.
Well. Let me pull up my handy dandy timer. All right, it's on 30 seconds. I know I saw a question over here in the comments. So if you've never watched the show, this is the part of it where Miss Chantel Soumis has 30 seconds to answer your questions, okay? And if she doesn't, she's got to take a shot of that good organic tap water she's got over there. So let me find this question here. I'll read the question and then I'll start the timer. Ready?
Yes.
All right. So Tanya asks, do you have to be a premium member for engagement? Go.
No, you do not. However, if you have premium, you can see who's viewed your profile so you can engage with the right people more effectively.
Ooh.
That 30 seconds.
Girl, you have plenty of time left.
I know.
Plenty of time. That is awesome.
I love premium, but I do not speak for, I am not paid or sponsored by LinkedIn. I should just say that because you have to pay for that. But
so listen, give us just a little bit like what makes premium, I mean, apart from the obvious, why would you encourage someone to use the premium versus just the free platform? Because there is a fee involved with the premium.
Yes. So premium, I suggest for people who are out there, having speaking careers is a great one, right? Because you're looking for those correct representatives that are running events or in higher up positions that are coordinating the agenda and the speakers. So for that, you search for them by job title. You can search for them by industry. You can find the exact representatives that you need to connect with and have that conversation with premium. You don't get that with the free version. You can also see, and with the free version, you can see the 10 most recent people who viewed your profile. But with premium, it's you can see everybody. And when people come and view your profile, that's a warm lead already. So if you're in sales or marketing or you run your own business, you should have premium as a part of your marketing strategy. It's just amazing, especially in B2B, I would say.
Awesome. You heard it here. Tanya agrees. She says that was a great question. And this show will leave you with a healthy bladder. In other words, you're going to laugh. You're going to smile. You're going to enjoy watching the happy hour show. Well, that just made me think of another question. As far as I know, with me personally, I get a lot of requests on LinkedIn, and it's slowed down on Facebook and Instagram a little bit. But now I feel like it's increased on LinkedIn, where all of a sudden I'm being bombarded with messages, and I can start to see like, all right, what are you about to pitch me? Like I stopped responding to all of them because it's like, okay, you're introducing yourself, you're asking how I am, like everybody's got the same pitch, and then you're gonna pitch me your service, and I don't even know you. I haven't saw your profile. I just accepted your request. Like, so how would you say, like, how do you efficiently follow up with those warm leads?
Yes. Okay. I feel you 110% on the people who knock on your door and then ask you for money, right? Those aren't the kind of people that you want to be, let alone attract, right? So here's a better way to do that. Start reaching out to people. Always send a custom connection request. Tell them why you want to connect with them. If you are doing it for a reason, talking about getting booked with their community, still realize that these people are humans. These are still real live people on the other side of this profile. So making sure that you understand that and the value of connectivity and building strong connections is so much more important than turning those numbers at the end of the day. Because chances are Susie may be able to introduce you if she likes you, because she's a gatekeeper. Everybody's a gatekeeper. She may be able to introduce you to the right person of your dream objective, your dream job, your dream career, your dream opportunity. So that's my first tip there. But also just make sure that you're being human. You're having human dialogue. You're not scripted. There are a lot of companies out there that do that automated automated thing, where it's all, you can see that they're scripting this out. As soon as you could accept their connection request, they send you a follow-up. So, just engage like you would with a human, because sometimes it is an individual message and it's not a bot. But even on your behalf, just that lead follow-up is everything. As you know, working in sales and marketing, you need to be there and be active. And that's when your content strategy comes in. So making sure that you're sharing content on LinkedIn. There's so many different kinds. And in the ebook that I want to share with everybody for free, you just email me if you want it. I'll send it your way. There's all the different kinds of content there too. So there's posts, text only posts. There's images. You can share pictures of you working, or, your dog on your computer or something, because we're working remote most of the time now. Or, you rocking it on stage and sharing your biggest fear when you hit the stage. Because again, vulnerability, people want to see that. It connects with them. That pain does draw those people in. So those are just some other areas, but that will keep you top of mind and nurturing those leads.
Yes. Tanya says that's why she hasn't been active on it, because too many pitches, and those gatekeepers are important. Yes. Yes. So I want to thank you, Miss Chantel Soumis, for coming on the Happy Hour show. And I have my signature question that I must ask every single guest, because I am all about happiness and being intentional about the quality of life that you create for yourself. So I want to know, how do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
Ooh, I love you so much. You are just pure sunshine. I love happiness, because happiness is everything. It's the way you dream better at the end of the day. It's the way you relax better. So how do I focus on happiness? Sunshine and cuddles from my little boy, I would say.
Oh, yes, that quality time. Tanya says, great job. And you already alluded to it, but I want you to dive deeper. Tell the viewers that special gift that you have for them.
Yeah, just shoot me an email at hello@chantelsoumis.com, and I'll send you this ebook that I designed. And it just has, it's the secret sauce to creating a flavor-packed profile on LinkedIn. Yeah, we're talking about recipes here. It also has a workbook at the end of it. So everything you read is practical application. You can put it all down there on paper and then apply it to your profile. It's super easy as 1, 2, 3, and you'll be ready to rock it on LinkedIn.
Nice. So listen, whether you work for someone, you are aspiring to work for yourself, or you already are an entrepreneur or building a business, for whatever reason, LinkedIn is the place to be to get your professional life together. So make sure that you email Chantel so that you can get your free copy of How to Get Noticed on LinkedIn, her very own ebook, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Well, I'm excited. Please reach out anytime.
Yes.
Have any questions.
Trent says, you impress me every time I hear you speak. Thanks for tuning in, Trent. Yay. And Renette says, could you post into it again? Yes, I will put that right back on here. Right there. Send the email, take a screenshot, watch the replay, push pause, and send the email to get your free ebook. And meanwhile, make sure that you also follow Miss Chantel Soumis on FB, that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you need to be. Follow her. She is awesome. Her energy is great. And make sure that you stay updated on future episodes of the Happy Hour show by going to bit.ly/happy updates. And that's where you will be able to find info on, well, you won't find it. It's going to come to your inbox. Info on future episodes, exclusive airings, and sometimes my guests have exclusive happy hour specials, but only for those VIPs that are subscribed. So make sure you subscribe at bit.ly/happy updates. And again, I want to thank my special guest, Chantel Soumis. creative director of Stardust Creative, and she is awesome. Your LinkedIn expert right here. And with that, make sure that you tune in next Tuesday as I chat with my next guest, 9 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday. Make sure you are there. My name is Lindsey Vertner, your peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. And with that, any final words from my lovely guest?
No, be happy. Stay happy. Stay happy.
Yes, yes. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Adios.
Thanks for having me. Great to see you all.
You.